Hey everybody, this is Jen Drake-Croft, Director of Early Childhood Wellbeing with the Tennessee Commission on Children and Youth. And I wanted to share with you all this platform that we are making available to all of our folks who have gone through the training for trainers and who will participate in our learning collaborative. Previously, I shared a lot of documents and files via Dropbox, and that didn't work for many people, and there were also limitations to what Dropbox can do with regard to project management. So we decided to move forward with purchasing Basecamp to help assist our learning collaborative, both for file sharing and for connecting around regional opportunities, as well as affinity groups or sector-specific groups, so that we can begin to move forward on advancing policy and practice throughout the state of Tennessee. So what you see here is Basecamp. Each of you will get an invite to participate in Basecamp, and you will be invited to different teams based on what makes sense for you. And also, this is bi-directional. So any one of you that would like for me to create a new team, please just email me that idea or call me, and we can chat about what that would look like. So anyway, just to do a very quick overview, what you'll see here at the top of the screen is just some basic abilities to navigate throughout Basecamp. So here it will take you to the home page. If you click this, it'll take you right to this page that you see here. This is sort of your latest activity, so what's been happening in Basecamp. Pings are when somebody mentions you, and you can start a chat, or you can be notified that somebody needs your attention on a project. The Hey button is a whole host of things, whether it's tasks that you have committed to or been assigned to, or if somebody is talking in a chat, it'll let you know about that. Another thing that we have here is something called campfires, and this is just sort of informal conversations that you have as a part of your teams. You have a reports button, and they have all these presets for reports, and then you have a find, so you can look for something very quickly. So I'm going to jump back to home. And just so you all know, your screen won't look like mine, because I am a part of a whole bunch of stuff internally here at TCCY that you won't have to worry about it cluttering up your screen. But what I did want to point out is some of the teams and what you might be invited to, and just some of the working components for each of those teams. So you can see here that I've created a template for some of those affinity groups or sector-specific groups, and we'll be creating more and inviting you to them based on your profession. If you all are a part of a specific profession, for instance, if you're a part of mental health, but you have an integrated healthcare facility where you integrate mental health and physical health needs, and you want to be a part of the ACEs and healthcare group, I can certainly add you. So just know that we'll be pre-populating this based on the feedback that we've gotten from you all with regards to what sector you belong in. If you feel like you belong in more than one sector, just let us know. The other thing that I've created that every single one of you will be invited to is the Building Strong Brains Learning Collaborative. And so this will be the entire cohort of people who have participated in a training for trainers. So to date, I believe that is 535 people, and then by the end of this fiscal year, it should be somewhere close to 700 individuals. So super exciting stuff. So in every single one of the teams, you see these same categories. Again, campfire is where you can kind of chat casually as a group. The message board is something that is a little bit more formal. So you can post an announcement, post an FYI, post a pitch or a question. We never really use Heartbeat here at TCCY, but I'm assuming that Heartbeat is really for those sort of warm and fuzzies. So I'm guessing that if there's a warm and fuzzy story that you all want to share, that you could do it there. So I'm going to give you all an example of something that I could post. So there may be a question, and maybe the question is, who in the Learning Collaborative knows about a trauma-informed school in Tennessee? And then I clearly didn't do trauma-informed. Right, there we go. So that could be a question, and then you could post it. Okay. And so post this message. You can either save it as a draft or post it. And so when it posts, it'll ask this. There's this little thing that allows you to applaud people, so feel free to do that, but it doesn't really add much. And then you can add a comment or upload a file in response to this. So for instance, yes, there is a trauma-informed school in Nashville called Fall Hamilton Elementary School. Okay, so I would just hit respond to that, add this comment, and there it is. So I'll be deleting that before you all start playing around on this, but I just wanted to show that to you for an example. So we're going to go, if you want to jump back to the Learning Collaborative meeting page, you can go back to Team Home. And then this is a list of to-dos, and this is probably going to be used mostly with either the sector-specific groups or with the regional groups, but there will be some to-dos that we list, and one of those to-dos will probably be like reporting, for example, because we're all going to be reporting. So I'll have like a regular to-do on this that says monthly reporting, and after that I'll probably include the link, which you can include a link here, and I'll enter the URL to our monthly reporting for our monthly reporting so that you all can access it really easily. So right now I'm going to discard this. I'm going to go back to the Team Home, and also here you will see a schedule. So probably what we will do there is anything that's statewide in nature that we think would be helpful to the entire Learning Collaborative, we will post that event on the schedule. I probably will only have one automatic check-in around reporting. May or may not have that here, but probably won't do a lot of automatic check-ins for the entire collaborative. And then most importantly, what you'll see here are the docs and files. So here in the docs and files, this will be slightly rearranged by the time you get to it, but you will see a grouping called slide decks. And in the slide decks, you'll have your 3-hour, your hour and a half, your 30-minute, your 15. Good news is that these are the new versions of the slide decks. So when you select them, you can download them, and they can be available to you anywhere. This will be great if you accidentally lose your jump drive, your flash drive, or if you just forget it and you're showing up for a presentation. As long as you have internet access, you will be able to download this presentation. So you would just hit download, and it'll download like any other file, and then you can select it and pull it up. Just as a reminder, we would ask that if you're going to be sharing this slide deck with folks, like if you're doing a training, please don't share the PowerPoint version with them, because we don't want anybody using these slides that hasn't been trained in it. However, you can save it as a .pdf and share it that way, because we know that people like to have slides to take notes on. So going back to docs and files, you're also going to see a research and resources file. And underneath this, you're going to see a number of buckets where we have research and resources relating to the original ACEs study, frameworks, adolescents, etc. We will be continually adding to this. And most importantly, here at the very end, you will see research and resources cited in the slide deck. And so these are all of the articles and resources that we cite in your slide deck so that you can access them and know exactly where we got that information from. Another thing that will be added to the docs and files, in addition to these slide decks, will be the updated facilitators guide, so that .pdf facilitators guide. So we have a number of them printed that we're hoping to distribute in reunions we're planning to host in the Grand Regions in this upcoming fiscal year. But if you want it sooner, we will have it there. Also, we will have this video as well as videos around monthly reporting and videos around the new slide deck and optimizing content. That's where, here in Docs and Files, is where those things will live. So jumping back to home, some other groups that you all may be invited to. We've talked about the affinity groups, but each of you will be invited to a Grand Region group. So you can see we have an East Tennessee group, a Middle Tennessee group, and a West Tennessee group. We've talked about potentially narrowing that down and even making groups that are focused on specific cities. If there are trainers in a specific city that equal 20 or more, you all might want to get together if you're in, say, Chattanooga or in Knoxville, and, speak, talk or plan things that are specific to your city. So we will probably be developing that over the next few weeks. But for the meantime, each of you will be invited to your respective cohort. For some of you, you came to a training that was in a different part of the state, either because of issues with scheduling or because you were on the wait list. And you will still be in the cohort that reflects the region where you work and live. So you may have trained with a cohort in West Tennessee or in Middle Tennessee, but we'll still be placing you in the cohort that makes sense based on where you work and live. So again, same things that you're going to see here that we explored with the Learning Collaborative. However, just want to point out that any of the docs and files that you all upload, we're really going to be relying on you all to be drivers of information, not just TCCY, particularly as it comes to these affinity groups, sector-specific groups, and regional groups. Because here at TCCY, though we have our regional coordinators that can be adding information to this, we don't always know everything that's happening. So we really want this to be a platform where folks can really contribute and engage with one another, and that it's, again, not one directional but very bi-directional in nature. So we would ask that you all update, include any docs and files that you think are relevant, as well as schedule, any trainings that might be happening in your area, or anything, any trainings that you're conducting, so people can know the trainings that are happening across your region, as well as opportunities for folks to maybe get some additional professional development. Message boards will be more specific to the region in nature. And then for every single region, I have created an automatic check-in. So every Friday at 9 o'clock, you will be asked the question, what activities did you do this week that advanced awareness of ACEs and or supported response to ACEs? And this is, again, just an opportunity for you all to learn about what's happening in your area, and for us to support knowledge mobilization and information sharing. So going back to the home page, I want to sort of point out that one thing about Basecamp that you'll notice is that there's not only teams, but that there's projects. Right now, we will not be inviting you all to any projects because a team is really defined as a group of people who come from different walks of life to address an issue or address a common goal, versus a project is something that's a little bit more specific, something that you all are tackling. So if, for instance, we were going to plan a summit, a regional summit, then maybe that would be a project. And if you all would want me to create that, you could just email me and I could create that project. Here you'll notice that we have our public awareness campaign, which is a project internally. I have an ACE Awareness Day project that is something that's happening here in Nashville. And then we have a retreat planning project. Again, it's sort of time specific, and this one actually can be archived because October's over. We already had our retreat. So if I wanted to archive it, I would select archive and then hit the archive button or put it in the trash. So coming back to home, this is something that will grow and develop over time. You'll see up here at the top that they're constantly creating new features that you can learn about. They're usually creating new features or new ways of doing things on a quarterly basis, and you can read all about it here, as they say. And then another very important thing that I want to show you all is information about notifications. So because we use Basecamp on a regular basis here at TCCY to support us internally, I have turned my notifications off and only get like an email once a week. And of course, this is kind of blocking. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get this to close the quarter panel. There we go. So I've turned my notifications off or I've actually just changed the settings rather, so that I'm not getting an email every single time something new happens. What I would encourage you all to do, though, is if you don't use Basecamp regularly, maybe leave the preset notifications on so that it can kind of prompt you to check back in and engage with this platform. You can turn on focus mode, which will make sure that you're not bothered while you're trying to focus on a project or on other work. But here is where you can kind of tailor your notification settings. So you would select the down arrow next to your icon, and then you could have something notify me about everything. So every message, comment, to-do assigned to you, etc., you would be notified about through email. Here I have only notify me when somebody pings or @mentions me. And then I also have like bundled email notifications, and I of course have my little hey thing up here that tells me how many things I need to attend to. And then here you can decide, are you going to be receiving this all the time, always, 24/7, 365, no matter what, or only during your work hours? So you could select this and then select when you want to receive notifications. So I've got mine on it always. But another thing that you could do is you can just turn your notifications off. If you find that your emails is becoming overwhelming, you can turn them off here. Here is your profile settings, your personal settings, where you can change your avatar, title, password. Also know that Basecamp has apps for both Android and Apple devices, so you can add an app and check information that way. Also, you can log out. If I were to select avatar, I can change my avatar here. I've got a little one of my old headshots up there, but I could change it to something else. Here's my title. I could include a bio. I could include, here's my email address. And then you can even add a splash of color or whatever else that you want to have there. So I've got purple. So that's basically everything that I wanted to show you today about Basecamp. And if any of you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call or email me. I'm always here to support you, and we will begin populating some of this, both with users but also with content so that you can play around and really learn more about it. And when we email out this video, we will also email out more professionally done videos that have been conducted by Basecamp themselves. So anyway, thank you guys so much for all the work you're doing, and I hope that you all have a great rest of your week. All right.